Hi guys, Lindsay here with Storybook Family Farm. So all the projects that I had set out to do before the market week started, I actually was able to accomplish them for the most part. So I was able to get a new rabbit tractor completely built, but we also did some more stuff than just that. So on Sunday, we went down to the one market that we do. It's like every other Sunday or something like that. We went down and we did that. It went all right, nothing to write home about. However, we did get a really good deal on beets. So we ended up coming home with like 55 pounds of beets for like one heck of a deal. So we have been working on canning them and preserving them and eating some of them. Tracy and I, we absolutely love beets. But everywhere that we've lived in the past has had too high of acidic soil to be able to effectively grow beets. So when we find a good deal on them, we end up snatching them up as much as we can. So I did get the rabbit tractor completely built, so that's what I'm going to show you guys now. So I have a cinder block on top just to weight it down. My God, you geese are noisy. Kind of work. But so I do have a cinder block on it right now to weight it down on the front here because I haven't had a chance to put some sort of hook system to keep raccoons out. The lid is pretty heavy on its own, so adding the cinder block definitely for sure makes it so that way nothing can get in. We have been having a coon problem again. Nothing has gotten into the barn, but we've seen signs of coons being by the barn and attempting to get in the barn. So since Sunday, we've gotten 2. We've trapped and killed 2, so that's good. So without further ado, here is the rabbit tractor. So I have hooks down here that I hook a dog cable to. There's one on each side that I hook the dog cable to, so then I can just pull it and lead it along. So the bottom has its own set of wire on it, and then all of the walls have wire on the sides here. So Bama is the big huge rabbit right there. She's doing really well. And then I will show you guys the babies. They're very noisy. So I don't know how well I'm going to be able to get an angle of the babies. I'll try over here. So she had 4 babies. They are all inside of the nest box. I'm not sure if it'll be a good shot or not of them, but they have been. I'm going to walk away from the geese. They have such noisy mouths. They want to talk a lot. So her babies have been getting in and out of the nest box and jumping up on top of it. And right before I started filming, they actually were standing inside of the feeder, so that way they could, attempt to eat pellets and stuff. So they're doing fantastic. So I wanted to take the big cage that Bama was in originally. I wanted to bring this over to here so that way it can be in the orchard area so they can work on fertilizing the grass over there. However, last night, whenever I was dragging it over here, and it's just around the camper the long way, and I was just going to set it right next to these cages here, so that would be easy to transfer the babies into that cage. Well, I stepped on a yellow jacket's nest, so yeah, that wasn't very pleasant. So we had to abandon course last night, and then after moving the rabbit tractor over here, I realized that this tarp really is in really bad shape, so I'm going to replace it before we put new babies in there, because when we opened it up to get Bama and her babies out, it kind of tore more. It already was looking kind of rough from being out all winter, but now it's like really rough. So I'm going to take some of these feed bags off that were used for wintertime to help insulate the cage better. So I'm going to take some of them off and put a new tarp on it before we put the babies in it tomorrow. So that's that. What else? Oh yeah, today was crazy trying to bake bread while also canning beets, and I also had some beans to can too. So that was super duper hectic trying to do all of that this morning. It was just a very eventful, wild ride trying to get so much of that stuff done and accomplished. So since I'm standing over here by the grapes, I'll talk about the grape arbor. So I don't show this part of the yard very often because, well, it's kind of an eyesore. So over here is right by the front area, because, you know, there's the road. This here is actually a grape arbor that's been severely neglected, as you can probably tell. It does have some grapes on it. I don't know what kind of grapes they are. I have no idea if they're going to be green grapes or purple grapes or pink grapes or whatever. So we are planning on letting this stay kind of feral until it is time to harvest the grapes. Then we will harvest the grapes and determine from there if they are worth saving, if they're worth doing anything with. Just because of the fact that if they're awful and I can't even make wine with them, I'm not going to work on pruning this and trimming it all back and doing all this stuff. But this arbor is massive, so I assume that the grapes are probably somewhat decent, just because it's probably 25 foot long and it's, you know, very big. We actually have 3 different grape arbors over here. There's like one in the middle that the arbor is completely gone, but the grapes are just growing all over. And then we have one clear at the end, right by the road, that's doing all right. So then over here, this big massive stuff, there's actually a really big dirt pile right there. So that actually is going to be used to create raised beds in the fall/winter time. So I did throw a couple tomato plants in there, which I'm sure that right now you can't even see them. So these really healthy romas, they were given to us, and it was way after we planted all of our extra gardens to accommodate free tomato plants. So they just got tossed in over here, and they're actually doing really well. So that definitely tells me that the soil is pretty good there. But so the township was cleaning out the ditches like a month or 2 ago, and while they were cleaning out in front of our house and our ditch, I went out and asked them if they could just dump the dirt in our yard. So that's what that is. It's probably 15 foot tall, or 15 foot long and waist high, and probably like 6 to 8 feet wide. So it's a massive amount of dirt. So it's definitely going to help us a lot when we're building the raised beds and when we get our greenhouse built, because soil is expensive, and this stuff was basically black gold because the ditches haven't been cleaned out, and God only knows how long, based on the amount of dump truck loads that it took them to get it out of just our ditch. This was, I think, 3 dump truck loads, not like big commercial dump trucks, but like, you know, small pickup dump truck type dump trucks. I don't know how to describe it. But it was 3 or 4 dump loads of that, and it was mostly from just in front of our place. I walked through some mint right in here. There's a whole bunch of mint on the ground, so I like keep smelling it, and it smells delightful. But yeah, so I'll show you guys the grape arbors here from this perspective. You can see there's one arbor here. That's the one that's on the ground. And all these arbors have grapes on them, despite being severely neglected. And then right over there is another arbor. That right there is just a big multiflora rose bush that I take Lucky over to, so he can get a snack whenever he's, you know, misbehaving and needs some one-on-one time. That's where I take him, so he can get a snack. Goats love multiflora rose. But yeah, and then up there's a pear tree that came with the house, so there's a few pears on it, but not anything too productive this year, I think, just because of the late frost. But yeah, so that's about all that's going on with us. Very super excited about them beets. So so far we've gotten 23 pints, and we have like 30 more pounds to process. So we'll probably get about 28 to 30 more pint jars of beets. So that'll definitely be enough beets to satisfy our family's needs for at least this year, probably into part of next year as well. We're pretty good about rationing out on things if we're getting low, so that way we can, you know, savor them and that sort of a thing. But yeah, so I'm gonna hop up here so that way I can get to working on making the dough for tomorrow's market. It's very, very, very busy over here all of the time, so that is that. All right, so if you guys are enjoying this content, please give this video a thumbs up. Feel free to share it on your social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to help us grow. It's great seeing all of the new growth that we've had and the new subscribers that we've had recently. It definitely encourages us to keep going with our fixer-upper and to keep working on being more self-sufficient and bringing you guys along. So I just wanted to say thank you. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.